adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring the jet-age aerial ace, Rocket J. Squirrel. And his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
For a story about a convention, ours has been pretty unconventional so far. For our heroes are still walking the tracks on their way to Missouri, watched by a satellite high in the sky that is flashing pictures of them to Pottsylvania's fearless leader.
Fearless leader, Moose and Squirrel are taking a long time to get to Peaceful Valley.
Tut, tut, it is all part of the plot. And remember the words of our great protector, Mr. Big.
Whisper his name.
A watched plot never thickens.
Meanwhile, Boris Badenov, who was blown up by one of his own fiendish plans, is determined to be revenged.
But Boris, fearless leader, says Moose and Squirrel must arrive safe and sound.
Fui to fearless leader.
Fooey!
Fui, fui, and double fui.
Boris, your language. It is a family show, remember?
Fui to families too. Oh,
Boris, darling, what is it?
it's a lump.
But what made the lump?
This brick with a note on it.
What does it say?
The brick, it don't say nothing.
The note, darling.
Oh, it says, fearless leader is watching. Oh, boy.
Yes, the Pottsylvanian satellite was now hovering high over Boris's head, keeping him under constant surveillance.
Just kidding, fearless leader. You know what they always call me? Million laughs bad enough.
Bad enough, you nitwit.
They call me that, too.
Get to Peaceful Valley and carry out your instructions.
Yes, fearless leader, but how?
How? Use your special secret agent rocket kit. Build a rocket. Fly there.
Yes, fearless leader.
Signing off.
You're Sarah Bossman, sir, you...
Fearless leader, I didn't know there was a secret agent rocket kit.
There isn't. I just made it up.
Natasha, did we got secret agent rocket kit?
I don't know, darling. Let me look in pocketbook. Here is poison lipstick.
What shade?
Kiss of death pink.
I prefer Black Widow black or Vampire violet.
Some booby pins for setting booby traps.
Ah,
Autograph picture of Benedict Arnold.
good old Benny.
And the membership card in PTA.
PTA, like parents and teachers?
No, darling, like in pickpockets and thieves.
That's better, but still no rocket kit?
No rocket kit.
Oh, boy, here, let me take a look.
Boris, don't turn it upside down.
Nonsense, I got to... What was that?
My explosive perfume.
Explosive perfume?
I call it the boom.
And meanwhile, our two heroes are still trudging slowly toward Peaceful Valley, Missouri.
Boy, it sure is hot.
Never mind, Bullwinkle. There's a tunnel up ahead. It'll be cooler in there.
And our heroes plunged into the cool darkness of the tunnel, little realizing that the fast express was plunging into the other side.
Bullwinkle, look out!
In another instant, Rocky flashed out of the tunnel with the express close behind him.
Bullwinkle, where are you?
Right here, Rock.
Well, get off that train. You don't have a ticket.
I can't. My hoof is caught in the cowcatcher.
You mean moose catcher.
Don't crack jokes during the action scenes. Nobody hears them anyway.
Right. I'll go tell him to stop the train instead.
In a few minutes, the train was stopped and Bullwinkle was extracted from the front of the engine.
Well, here we are, safe and sound.
But where are we?
Alas, they found out all too soon.
Bullwinkle, it's 12 o'clock already and we're still in Frostbite Falls. You know what that means?
Yup. Time for lunch.
So our heroes are back where they started. Well, this is a pretty pickle.
Not really. It's more of a kumquat.
Be with us next time for Boris Lends a Hand or Count Your Fingers.
Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
But that trick never works.
This time for sure. Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Happy birthday, Pop.
Well, thank you, Junior. Well, a jumping frog, just what I've always wanted.
Yeah, me too, Pop. Sorry about the paper sack. I didn't have time to wrap it.
It isn't the sack that's important, it's what's inside it. Remember, the plainest box often contains the best gift.
I'll bet you got a fable to go with that, don't you, Dad?
Oddly enough, no.
Well, I do. It's called The Rooster and 5 Hens. Once there was a handsome rooster, a happy handsome rooster. But unknown to him, his days were numbered. For one spring day, the 5 Leghorn sisters moved into the house next door.
Girls, it's time you 5 thought of getting married. Now there's a fine young bachelor right next door, and one of you should catch him.
The oldest went first, and she knew that the best way to a rooster's heart was through his stomach.
Happy birthday!
How did you know it was my birthday?
I took a guess.
And the rooster took a bite,
Oh! Marble cake.
Marble cake.
made with real marbles.
Out! Out! Never darken my door.
The second oldest Leghorn sister was a whiz at housekeeping. One morning, bright and early, she snuck into the rooster's house and proceeded to give it a thorough going over. She cleaned up the living room, the kitchen, the closets. She cleaned up the bedroom.
She cleaned up everything.
The third sister was not only the prettiest, she had a very special talent.
Hey, you sure whistled pretty, hon.
There followed a whirlwind courtship. He took her everywhere, to the races, to the pool hall, and everywhere she went.
The lamb was sure to go?
No, she whistled.
You know, Doll, being on a picnic with you is really living. Whistle for me, baby.
Unfortunately, what they both didn't know was that it was the opening day of chicken hunting season, and a whistling chicken is a dead giveaway.
Honey, I could listen to you whistle all day.
When he got out of the hospital, he vowed never to look at another woman again.
You mean hen, Junior.
Yeah. But if there was anything that impressed this rooster, it was strength. And the fourth Leghorn sister had plenty of that.
Rooster, I'm gonna bust you one.
You do it, I'll bust you.
You stay out of this, Hen. I don't want anything to do with women.
He means hens.
Yeah.
And besides, this guy's tough.
Well, so am I.
She went into action and really showed her strength.
Say, baby, I could get to like you.
Another whirlwind courtship followed. At night, instead of watching TV, he would watch her press 2,000 pounds, and then all his suits.
Hey, how about you and me getting married?
That's a good idea, Fanny. Give us a hug.
It took 6 months to heal his broken ribs, and when it finally was done,
Never, I repeat, never will I be attracted to the opposite sex.
the fifth and last Leghorn sister was the prettiest of them all. But not only was she pretty, she laid golden eggs.
Hey, this is one of your eggs?
Uh-huh, 20 carat.
Boy, if I had a wife like you, I'd be rich.
Well, then marry me.
Of course, everybody wants a golden egg-laying hen, especially crook roosters.
This is a stick-up. Hand over your eggs.
Now, see here, buddy, this chick is my fiancée. Touch a hair of her head, and I'll call her sister, who can press 2,000 pounds in suits.
But the crooks weren't to be scared. This time the rooster was finally cured. That's it, Pop.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it myself.
Well, how does that illustrate the moral? The plainest box often contains the best gift.
Well, it doesn't, unless we show what happened when the sixth Leghorn sister approached the rooster.
The sixth, you said there were 5 of them.
Poetic license, Dad. Yes, there was a sixth sister. Zelda was her name, and she was ugly.
Hiya, baby, how come the mask? This ain't Halloween, you know.
This is not a mask, this is me. Will you take me for your wife?
I wouldn't take you for a walk.
Sad but determined, Zelda sought out the services of an old owl who...
Lived in a shoe?
No, in a cave.
Give the rooster this glass of magic liquid, and he will fall in love with you.
What's in here?
Absinthe.
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 Well, the very next day at a lemonade stand, Zelda substituted the absinthe for a hooker of lemonade.
Wow, that's not bad. And you know what?
What?
I love you.
And so they were wed, the handsomest rooster and the ugliest hen, which goes to prove, Pop, the plainest box often contains the best gift.
How come you said it straight, Junior? Usually you make a bad pun out of the closing moral.
Well, seeing as how I told the fable, I thought you'd corn up the ending.
Well, that's very kind of you.
You got one?
Uh-huh. Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
That's my Pop.
Hi there, culture bugs. Today's epic is a poem about the English garden, name of the cherry tree. Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. I saw the dimpling river pass and be the sky's blue looking glass, and dusty roads go up and down with, hi there, Dusty.
I say, Hatchet, I do believe there's a poacher in your cherry tree.
A poacher? Confound the rascal.
I saw the pleasant garden lie, adorned with signs before my eye. Hatchet Manor, keep out, this means you. Hey, that don't rhyme.
I say, who's up there?
Ain't nobody here but us cherries.
Will you come down at once?
Well, you asked for it.
Good heavens, what's happened to Hatchet?
I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little cherry tree.
That's a pretty strange-looking painting, Bullwinkle.
I just paint what I see.
Well, what do you see?
This is what I see.
Hello there, Peabody here. Once again, it is time to take another revealing peek back into history.
What famous date shall I set it to today, Mr. Peabody?
October 19th, 1781.
Got it. And the place?
Yorktown, Virginia, where we shall witness that great moment of the American Revolution when Cornwallis surrendered to General Washington.
And away we go.
It was simply a matter of seconds when we found ourselves in the main camp of General Washington where the surrender was to take place. However, by the orders the general was issuing, I quickly suspected that something was amiss.
Load your muskets, men. Position those cannon. Prepare to fire on my command.
Hey, the battle is still on.
I'm afraid there's more here than meets the eye. Stopping a passing soldier, I asked him if this wasn't the day that General Cornwallis was supposed to surrender.
Yep, he was supposed to turn his sword over to General Washington this morning, but he ain't showed up. Now we gotta start the Battle of Yorktown all over again.
Golly, Mr. Peabody, this is terrible. There must be some mistake.
Quite so, Sherman, and I suggest we find out what it is immediately. Hurrying into Yorktown, we went directly to General Cornwallis's headquarters, where we found him frantically rummaging through a large trunk.
Not here, not there, not here. Oh, drat the luck.
You'll pardon the intrusion, sir, but by some oversight, have you forgotten you are to surrender to General Washington today?
My good man, it isn't that I've forgotten it, simply that I can't.
Can't surrender? Why not?
I can't find my ruddy sword is why not. Isn't that jolly well depressing?
But you've got to find it or the battle will start all over again.
Yes, I know. Well, I'll have to do the next best thing and see if he'll accept this cricket bat instead. Cheero, chaps.
Needless to say, it was just a short time until Cornwallis returned with the cricket bat still in hand.
No soap, huh?
No, I'm afraid it must be a sword that I turn in upon my surrender. So be it. I shall go catch a sword.
Catch a sword? What's he talking about?
He could only mean one thing, Sherman. Follow me. My suspicions were, of course, correct, for Cornwallis hurried down to the coast where he set about the task of deep-sea fishing. In no time at all, he managed to hook a beauty, and after a savage battle, landed a whopping big swordfish.
I say, smashing good luck, what?
Wait a minute. You're not thinking of surrendering that to General Washington, are you?
Of course, dear boy. It is a sword of sorts, you know.
It might have worked out, but for the fact that it was such a long walk back to Washington's camp, and being such a hot day, the swordfish was hardly in any condition to present to the general by the time he arrived.
Out! That does it, chaps. There is simply no way to surrender a sword without a sword. I'm afraid the battle will just have to continue.
Is it possible you forgot to bring your sword?
Nonsense. I checked everything carefully before I left. I packed my toothbrush, an extra pair of socks, put my sword on the Oh, by George, you're right. It's back in jolly old England.
Then that is the answer. We shall go to England and get it.
But that's impossible. There isn't time.
Nothing, Sherman, is impossible. You go to General Washington and ask him to hold everything. We shall be back with the sword in no time at all.
Okay, but I hope it works. Good luck.
Luck was with us, for taking one of Cornwallis's fastest ships, we set sail immediately and just happened to get caught in a violent hurricane that blew us across the ocean to England in record time. Wasting no time, we hurried to the General's house.
Mother! Mother!
Why, Charles, what is it? Did you forget something?
Yes, Mother, my sword. I say, have you seen it?
Oh, yes, dear. I'm barbecuing a roast with it. Won't you and your friends stay for dinner?
I'm afraid there's no time for that, ma'am.
I'll take the sword and we'll eat the roast on the way. Awfully nice of you, Mother. Cheero.
We rushed back to the ship and were fortunate enough to catch the hurricane, which just happened to be blowing the other way, and made the return crossing faster than before.
I can't wait any longer. Ready?
Don't shoot yet, General. If you could hold it just a little longer.
Aim!
I say, here I am. I'm here.
Wait, here they come. They made it.
Don't fire, for pity's sake. King's X, I give up.
Do you surrender, sir?
I certainly do. Here, sir, is my sword.
Phew, good work, Mr. Peabody. Cornwallis was finally able to surrender, and that practically ended the revolution.
Quite so, Sherman, and following his surrender, Cornwallis was able to return to England, where in 1794 he was made Marquis of the piggyback races for all of the royal picnics.
Marquis of the piggyback races? How come?
How else could they start the race? You know very well that before every race you must say, "Get on your Marquis."
Last time, you remember, our heroes were well on their way to the Missouri Moose Convention when they entered a tunnel and started an argument with the Daylight Express, which was going the other way. As a result, by the time the train was stopped, they were clear back in Frostbite Falls.
Looks like we'll miss meeting the Missouri Meese.
What we need is a first-class travel agent.
Oh, lucky you got one.
Hey, who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself. Trade Wind Latour, Demon Travel Agent. Visit the famous garden spots of the world. The Bastille, Lubyanka Prison, Alcatraz, Wormwood Scrubs.
Garden spots? Those are all jails.
They can't be too much fun.
No, but the stopover privileges are great.
Yeah?
You get to stay 20 years in each one.
Well, then, maybe...
No, we just want to go to Missouri, Mr. Latour.
Of course you do. Now, here's your itinerary.
Huh?
Here's where you go.
Oh.
First to Lake Laos.
That's Lake Louise.
My mistook. Then on up the seaway to Greenland. Then Paris, Nome, Nairobi, Pismo Beach.
Wait a minute. Couldn't we go straight to Missouri?
Foolish boy. It's all the same price.
What price?
Only $10,000 each.
Well, we don't have quite that much.
Okay, cut out Pismo Beach and make it $99.50.
As a matter of fact, we have just 38 cents.
Like you say, you go straight to Missouri.
But how?
On board Mississippi River luxury liner, the SS Huck Finn.
A luxury liner. Sounds great. We'll take it.
And in just a little while, Boris waved bye-bye to our heroes as they started downriver on the SS Huck Finn.
This is a luxury liner?
What do you want for 38 cents? The Queen Mary?
Heavens, no, there's hardly enough room for us.
Well, Boris, they're on their way to Peaceful Valley.
Yes, Natasha. Now we got to beat them there.
Yeah, but how do we do it?
Observe, behind this conveniently placed bush...
Boris, it's a rocket.
You said it, kiddo, and I built it myself, personally by hand.
How does it work?
First, we get in seats.
Right.
Then we figure angle of fire.
Right.
Let's see. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 13 is 78. 7 times 8 is 54. Put down 7, carry 2. Aha! 32 degrees.
But, Boris...
Then we light fuse.
But, Boris...
And we're off.
What's Boris? 7 times 8 isn't 54.
No.
Is 56.
Natasha, you know what that means?
No.
Now you know what that means.
But the wily Boris was not to be defeated so easily, and soon was reclining in cushioned ease.
Faster, Natasha! Hop, 2, 3, 4. Hop, 2, 3, 4.
Are you sure this is good for the figure, Boris?
Natasha, by the time we get to Missouri, you will have figure just like M.M.'s.
Marilyn Monroe?
No, Minnie Mouse.
Well, Old Man River don't say nothing, don't do nothing. He just keeps rolling along. And so in just a few days, our boys found their tiny raft floating right up to the shore of peaceful Valley, Missouri.
Gee, Bullwinkle, it looks as if we were expected. I only have one question, Bullwinkle.
Well, that's all we have time for anyway.
Where's all the people?
A good question, that, for there weren't any in sight. But though our heroes couldn't see anyone, it was soon apparent that somebody saw them. For from every window and doorway in town, sinister-looking weapons began to appear, all aimed right at our boys. Don't miss our next creepy episode.
Featuring genuine creeps,
Mud-munching moose, or Bullwinkle bites the dust.
Well, I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say.
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible. The fingers get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?